Alright guys, today I'm actually going to be driving this bad boy over here. Let me just show you what it is. It is a Range Rover Vogue SE Supercharged. That's the V8 Supercharged. So yeah, I'm going to be driving this today just to give you guys some impression of what I think about it. Not obviously comparing it to the tank, but you know, something different. It's also an SUV, obviously a luxury SUV. This is an old one, I'm not sure what the year model is, but you know, so far, I mean, I do like it, and there's a few reasons, but I'll let you know what those are in the video. These are the accessories that come with the car. Plenty of space in the back there for the kiddos. Moonroof, we love that. She pulls. I'm going to check this out here. Oh. And she brakes quite well as well. What the 0 to 100 is, but it feels very quick.
Yeah, what happens if we get there and then we don't even, and then the car doesn't even have petrol in it?
That's also a good point. Yeah, when you have it, we need to have just enough petrol to get there.
And no.
So far, just hold on as I'm filming. So far on the long road, I was averaging about, and this is from Paul, cruising at about between 100 and 120. About 11 point something liters per 100, so that's I mean, it's not bad for the size of the vehicle, and obviously around town, driving just a short distance, it was averaging about 12.5 to 12.7 liters per 100. So yeah, it obviously, like any petrol vehicle, it likes to have the open road, not the town driving. But for what it is and the way it feels, I mean, it's quite impressive. Obviously the engine is like the heart of the beast, and in this case it certainly does not disappoint. It really moves for, I don't know what this thing weighs, maybe 3 tons. It certainly moves. I'm very impressed. Okay, did you record?
Okay, so is that what you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me when to start recording.
Don't even talk nonsense. Did you not record? Talking shit. Let me see. Alright, so that was my little jaunt in the Range Rover. I must say I enjoyed that. It drives quite comfortable. Obviously it's got air suspension, and it's quite easy to drive. I mean, I think that's why they call it the Manchester tractor, because all the footballers' wives drive them around in the UK. And yeah, easy to get around. Obviously it's a big beast, but it's obviously quite easy to drive, because the steering wheel's quite light and everything, and you feel quite in a cocoon. This one's got 164,000 Ks on it, so it's obviously a little bit tired. So it has a bit of creaks and cracks and squeaks and that from the interior, but otherwise, you know, it was a great drive. But yeah, I'll give you my final closing thoughts on how I feel when I get back into the tank later on. Cheers. Alright, so I'm back in the tank after my little 2-day drive in the Range Rover. And well, what's the difference? What do I feel is the difference? So definitely the tank feels smaller, more call it Jeep-like. You know, so it's a smaller, more nimble vehicle, but obviously still very, very comfortable. The ride in the tank is actually, you know, the ride in the tank is actually a very comfortable ride, but it definitely feels, you know, more nippy, more nimble, and the Range Rover feels like a ship, like a majestic ship, but a very powerful majestic ship, you know. It has that command view, so when you sit in it, you sit quite high and everything is quite low, so the door sill is quite low, so it makes you feel sort of I don't know, in command, I suppose. So yeah, I really enjoyed the ride. That V8, you know, that supercharged V8 is just a screamer. You know, once it hits 4,000 RPM, it really pulls very, very strong, and just I love it. You know, there's no replacement for displacement, as they say, and I just love the drive for that. You know, the problem with owning one of those vehicles is that, you know, they are expensive to maintain and reliability is a bit of a concern. That is a known fact, that if you're going to buy one, you're probably going to run into a multitude of issues. I'm not saying every one of them is going to have a lot of issues, but on the whole, as a new vehicle or a used vehicle especially, from the research that I've done after driving it, I obviously have a look at a lot of YouTube videos, and yes, there are a lot of, call it maintenance, things that come up with them, especially as they get older. So, you know, would I buy one? If money was no object and I had a whole collection of vehicles, I'll definitely get one. Not so sure about the very, very new ones. I think they've gone away from the boxy look, but I definitely get one of the later models that still had the boxy shape and that big roaring V8. And if it was my daily, then, you know, I definitely want one just as a vehicle, just to own it and just to take it out on weekends, on a couple of long trips, things like that. Really enjoyed it. But come back to the tank, I really enjoyed the tank again. Like I said, it's more nimble. It doesn't have a big roaring V8 in it. Hopefully one day they do release one with it in it. You know, but you know, as with any vehicle, they all have their different personalities, their pros and cons, and the tank definitely has a lot of pros and cons. This is a vehicle, and I think one of the fundamental differences is that the tank is a vehicle you want to take off-road. There are a lot of people that own them, a lot of people that already have been taking them off-road. You're not afraid to take it off-road. It is a robust ladder frame vehicle, 4x4, designed to go off-road. That is its main purpose, and it also does very well on the tar. It's also been designed to be very, very comfortable as a daily driver. So as a very good all-rounder, that's where the tank fits. The Range Rover, I've very, very seldom, if at all, I've seen a Range Rover like that off-road. So don't buy it to go off-road. Yeah, if you want to go off-road, buy a tank, buy some accessories, put some bigger wheels on, bumpers, roof racks, you know, storage systems, battery systems, you know, spotlights, you name it. You can go wild with the tank, and that's what makes the tank so cool to own, you know, because you can customize it. It looks good. The more you customize it, the better it looks, and I think that's where the tank sits. You know, it's just one of those vehicles that, just like the Jeep and the Jimny, it's one of those vehicles that you want to modify. It looks better when you modify it, performs a little bit better when you modify it, and it just does a lot more things for you. Whereas the Range Rover, it's a family vehicle, great for long distance, makes you feel good when you drive it, and then that's where it sits. So yeah, if you like my review of the Range Rover versus the tank, in a way, it's not really a versus, it's just, you know, as a SUV driving other SUVs, what are the key differences, and that's my take on it. So if you like this content, do like it and subscribe, share it with other people that might have a Range Rover and see what they say about my review, and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a lot more of these comparison sort of tank owner drives X SUV, right? Just to give you that sort of difference in the different kinds of vehicles, or the different kind of SUVs that are out there. So I'll probably be doing hopefully a G-Wagon one day. I'll do a Jeep, a couple of the Jeeps, maybe like the Cherokee, the Wrangler, Rubicon. I'll do a G-Wagon hopefully. I can do look, we're looking at like proper 4x4, so I don't think I'll do like an X5, because that's an SUV, but it's not really, doesn't really have off-road credentials. Let's put it this way, I will do vehicles that have a low range transfer case. So if it's got an actual low range transfer case, then I'll review it as a comparison on this channel. I think that's fair. I think that if you look at something like the Touareg, it used to have a low range transfer case. I'm not sure if the new ones do, so probably won't do a review. Now, I had a Touareg before, loved that vehicle, so capable. The air suspension, great ground clearance, V6 turbo diesel, excellent traction control. If I actually think back, I think the traction control on that Touareg was as good as this tank is in throttle mode, and that is saying something, because it was very quick, very good. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.